There you go. A little boomer moment there. Hey, everybody's packing. Did you hear? Everybody is packing. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, Dawg Knight, a.k.a. on the Dawg Knight channel, Marty, a.k.a. Dawg Knight, whatever. Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. It is August 15th, 2019. And, my title has a theme. And I'm hoping that I have some FTGs in here. I didn't really put any specific ones out there, but yeah, it is FTG Thursday, and you know what that means. We're gonna throw out a couple FTGs, but in the meantime, my title of my stream is called "Everybody's Packing," and so there's a couple stories where I can kind of keep that theme going. So let's just start with the first one, and we're gonna jump right in. But I almost forgot. I gotta have a little funk. Now, yesterday I figured out when I put the music on that I had to keep my microphone close to me because I realized I have a bad habit of going back and forth away from the microphone. I'm probably going to get a new microphone setup because this one's great. I love this Blue Yeti microphone that I replaced. But I'm probably going to have to get one of those, a mixing board and actually control the sound. But for now, I'm just going to keep the mic as close as I can so you can hear what the hell I'm saying. But like I said, we got to have some funk, especially on a Thursday. Or any day. Why is oh my gosh, my whole setup's messed up. Here, we'll fix that. All right, there's that. So, I hope y'all are having a good day so far. It is morning for most of us who are in this hemisphere, although I realize I got a couple people who listen who are not in this hemisphere, or at least not, well, let's see. Now, I shouldn't say this hemisphere. Well, yeah, because the Eastern Western Hemisphere. So I know I have a couple people from other parts of the world here, but that's okay. We're gonna have to have a little mood music to go along with what we do. We'll start with some laid back stuff though. Whoa, turn that down. All right. That should be good. Here we go. Oh, it's already on. I forgot to hit the volume. Okay. So hope that didn't mess up your ears any. Anyway, let's get to the whole thing, what I mean about the packing thing. Oh, I got to turn mine down though. Dang, how'd my monitor get up so loud? Sorry for the beeps. All right, here we go. The first story. This is from a couple days ago, but I haven't really heard anyone talk about it that much. And I think it's kind of important. So here's apparently the Democrats running for office are threatening the Supreme Court. That's just a weird thing. So there's a couple stories. Now this one's from the Fox News site. Senate Democrats deliver stunning warning to Supreme Court. Heal or face restructuring. That's a fascinating thing. Several high-profile Senate Democrats warned the Supreme Court in pointed terms this week that it could face a fundamental restructuring if justices do not take steps to heal the court in the near future. That sounds like a do what we say or we're going to change the court. But you know what? Hello, Senate Democrat. Well, anyway, let me read on. The ominous and unusual warning was delivered as part of a brief filed Monday in a case related to a New York City gun law. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, Richard Blumenthal, Mazie Hirono, and Dick Durbin. Yes, there was emphasis there. And Kirsten Gillibrand referenced ruling by the court's conservative majority and claiming it is suffering from some sort of affliction which must be remedied. Really? The Supreme Court is not well, and the people know it, the brief said. Perhaps the court can heal itself before the public demands it be restructured in order to reduce the influence of politics. Now that's amazing because, some people might say that it was too heavily influenced by politics before some of these other appointments were made. The last part was quoting language from the Quinnipiac University poll, in which 51% favored such restructuring. In the same poll, 55% believed the Supreme Court was motivated by politics more than the law. Dramatic changes to the Supreme Court have been proposed by several Democrats vying for their party's 2020 presidential nomination with court packing. And that's the first packing of the day, court packing. Being a common and highly controversial suggestion. Increasing the number of justices on the court would allow the president to shift the balance on the bench by loading up justices of his or her preference. Now, I think this is a hilarious idea. I really do. Because, and let me tell you why. Well, first of all, it's stupid, but I also think it's funny because just imagine if they push this idea much longer. Think about it. Okay, they're gonna push this idea all the way through, say, the 2020 election, right? And then what happens is the Republicans somehow manage to keep control of the Senate after the 2020 elections. And say, for example, President Trump happens to get reelected, which are both possibilities. I'm not saying they're for certain, but they are clearly something that could happen, right? Now imagine this. Both of those things happen. And then President Trump says, you know what? I think those Democratic senators were right. I think they were absolutely correct. We're going to add 6 more justices to the Supreme Court. Now, imagine that. What if that would happen? What if that would happen? Because clearly the Democrats are open to increasing the number of justices on the court, right? They've made it clear by this statement. So I just think it's an amazing thing that they would come up with because remember, in 2016, there was this, what was her name? She ran for president, right? Hillary Clinton. Yeah, that her, remember? And everyone was all excited on the Democrat side because she had a 98% chance of winning the presidency and would get a chance to replace them judges and, get Merrick Garland in there, Merrick Garland in there and get some other people in there. And they were just all like, you know what? We got this, right? And then, oh wait, what happened? Oh no. She didn't get elected. And you have President Trump. So he's named 2 justices. And, Ruth Bader Ginsburg isn't getting any younger either. But so now the Democrats saying, well, you know what? We're not getting our way. We're not getting, we're not getting the rulings we want. So we're just going to pack the court. Like Roosevelt wanted to do. Didn't Franklin Roosevelt want to do that? There was a time, I can't remember there was a time we did have more than 9 justices. And then it got put back down. But remember, Roosevelt just wanted to pack the court and do what he wanted to do, and and screw the American people. We're going to do it our way, and we're going to put judges on there that's going to agree with us. Isn't this idea, though, they're talking about, well, not politicizing the court. Isn't that exactly what they're asking for, though? They're asking to politicize the court because they're not getting the names of the rulings or the rulings they want. So they're asking to politicize the court. It's just really ironic to me. I just don't get it. So anyway, Democratic candidates including former Rep. Beto O'Rourke of Texas, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, Kamala Harris of California, and Gillibrand have all signaled an openness to expanding the number of judges on the court should they reach the White House. Hey, I think President Trump should be right on board with that. South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg has also supported expanding the court, proposing a plan to have some justices appointed by the president and others selected by other justices in order to depoliticize the court. Now that maybe, I wonder if that's an interesting idea in some ways. So he proposes a plan to have some of the justices appointed by the president, others by the court. Okay, and then he's admitted that the only way he can think of to make this work would be to increase the size of a court from 9 justices to 15, while stressing that simply adding more justices to the court who agree with you would be a bad idea. So at least he understands that. Yet other candidates, such as former Vice President Joe Biden, have come out against court packing, as has Bernie Sanders, though the Vermont senator has suggested rotating judges to other courts. Liberal Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has spoken out against court packing, telling NPR in July, 9 seems to be a good number. Anyway, they filed the brief in the case of New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus the City of New York, which dealt with legal limitations on where gun owners could transport their licensed, locked, and unloaded firearms. They are arguing the court stay out of the case brought by the NRA-backed group, claiming that because the city recently changed the law to ease restrictions, the push to the Supreme Court is part of an industrial-strength influence campaign to get the conservative majority to rule in favor of gun owners. If the court decides to hear the case, a ruling against New York City could prevent other cities and states from passing similar gun control laws. So anyway, that's just because they outnumber the Dems. Now, another article in the Washington Free Beacon, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot of new things on here, other than it just, the base of the brief is because it blasts the court as overly partisan and too friendly to conservative causes. It claims the court has influenced sensitive areas, including voting rights, partisan gerrymandering, dark money, union power, and civil rights, and discrimination issues in the workplace, among others. Every single time the corporate Republican political interest prevailed, it reads. Well, that's not true. We've had several cases that we thought would be go one way, and they went the other. You know what? They just want absolute power. That's what they want. They want absolute power. They do not want to have to negotiate with anybody, and they're willing to do it by any means that they can. And I just, you know what? It's so blatant. But the only remedy for, here's the thing. I've been watching this in politics for years. One side will think, oh, that something is such a great idea, and we're gonna make this change, and then the other side comes into power, and that change bites them in the ass. So, for example, when they used this, they did this so-called nuclear option to get Obamacare passed. Okay, by calling it a tax bill, which only required 51 votes and in the Senate, as opposed to something that could be filibustered. They bypassed the rules, right? And then they bypassed the rules on a judge. And so bypassing that filibuster rule on a judge, the Democrats gave up that power when the Republicans came into power. So now it made it easier for the Republicans to approve judges. So now the current president is getting a record number of judges appointed to the federal courts. So you bit yourself in the ass by changing the rules, okay? And now you got to live with them, and now you're pissed off that you have to live with them. So it's a pretty silly thing. All right, now that we've gotten through the first story of Packin, let's say good morning, everybody. Now I know Necrosol was originally going to be here, but then said he won't get to watch. So I'm gonna give Rolling Bear the bell because you were the first one here who's here. Although Necrosol, if you're still listening by chance, I'll give you a bell too. Also, good morning to Maddie. Good morning, Longfish, Diesel Dave, Max Del Rio, Sarah, Richo, Check Your Logic, and who else? MC, Hammer Time, Maniac Man, Cynical Lindsay. Hello, good morning, good morning. I am so glad you're here at the Morning Night Live. Just a reminder, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you haven't done so already, hit a like button, hit the share button. The share button is the most important button on the channel. Okay, and I'm gonna make a big thing about this as we move along. Because YouTube no longer shares the videos of the people you like, it's really important that if you enjoy something, that you share it, because the like button doesn't do that for you anymore. Whether you do it on Twitter or whatever. If you're on Twitter, Twitter's a great place to do it. I know a lot of people especially with Facebook. I don't put any of my political opinions on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. I'm going to start using my Dawg Knight Facebook page more for the stuff that I do here. But I don't want to get into political arguments with my dear old friends. And so I stay out of, I don't go to Facebook anyway, but that much. But so I understand that. But there are places that you have that you can share stuff. And then also, if you want to do super chats, I do that through the Streamlabs link down below. So thanks for being here, and I'm glad you are my regulars. You are awesome. Hopefully we can fill the board up with more regulars. Hey, good morning, Zombie Teddy, also, and good morning to Marsupial Gamer. All right, moving on. Let's go to the next thing. Speaking of packing, apparently targeted in the Walmart attack, Hispanics in El Paso flocked to firearm classes. So a lot of people in El Paso are going to start packing. El Paso, Texas, this is a Reuters article. More El Paso residents than ever before crowded into a class over the weekend to become certified to carry a concealed handgun in public in Texas after this month's mass shooting at a Walmart store that killed 22 people. Guadalupe Segovia, 35, was at the class with her 2 children. She said her military husband had long been pushing for her to get a concealed carry license, which allows the holder to wear a gun hidden under their clothes or carry it in a purse when they are in public. Segovia said that she felt the urgency to do so, to do the required training now after the attack hit close to home. I'm still going to be scared, even carrying a weapon, she said. The vast majority of people at the classes were Hispanic. El Paso is predominantly a Latino city. Wow, they used the word Latino and not Latinx. Good for them. Police said the accused gunman deliberately attacked Hispanics in the Walmart. The only thing about this, and I'm fine. People, if you want to get guns, get guns. That's your business. What bothers me is that the fear that people are living their lives by. And that's the one thing that bothers me. These events really, they get hyped so much because the anti-gun people and the gun people fight about this in public constantly. And so you've got this... This is one of those moral panic things, that people are living in fear for so many things in this country. And really, your chances of experiencing these in person are really so slim. But so it's unfortunate that people are scared, but I get it. You'll feel more, if you feel more comfortable doing that, that's your right to do that. Michael McIntyre, general manager of Gun Central, one of the largest gun shops in El Paso, and the host of the class on Friday, said his store tallied double the usual number of sales in the week following the attack, something that did not happen after previous mass shootings in Texas. Most of the sales were for handguns, which can be strapped to an ankle or shoulder under clothing. I have over 50 for the Saturday class, approximately the same amount for the Sunday class. I normally have approximately 7. So, yeah, the people in El Paso, because that's a Texas thing, they're going to be packing. So, you're right, Longfish. I hear you. I hear you. So, yeah, that's story number 2 about people packing. All right, moving on. Story number 3, North Philly. Speaking of someone who is packing, the young man in Philadelphia who got in a standoff with cops yesterday, it was a live shooting situation last night. I got a feeling, though, that you're probably not going to hear a whole lot about this story after today. But since this is the Philadelphia local paper, here it is. In the North Philly standoff, alleged cop shooter Maurice Hill has a long criminal history. Now notice, interesting. What do you notice about this picture that you would not know based on the narrative that you usually hear about shootings? There's a couple things you notice. He's being taken alive. Oh, huh. I wonder how Black Twitter's doing with that right now. Anyway. Police sources identified a gunman in a standoff at the Tioga apartment building that left 6 police officers injured as Maurice Hill, 36, a Philadelphia man with a long history of gun convictions and resisting attempts to bring him to justice. The police sources declined to be identified because they were not authorized to speak. Reached by phone about 9:30 p.m. Thursday evening, Shaka Johnson, a lawyer who most recently represented Hill, confirmed that Hill had a connection in the standoff. My client is requesting me to come to the scene, he said. The standoff began Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. when a narcotics strike force unit attempted to serve a search warrant at a house on the 3700 block of North 15th Street. For the next few hours, police used bullhorns and phone calls to try to get him to surrender. After Hill's surrender, so then just after midnight, a suspect left the home and was placed as a police officer. So there was a shootout. Now what the hell happened here? They left. Looks like they left a whole section out of this article. So it was a 2 or 3 hour standoff, and he was shooting. 6 different cops got hit. Now none of them critically, but yeah. Well, here, there's a police shooting a standoff. We'll put that on the next. I'll open another tab for that. We'll open 2 tabs. After Hill's surrender, Johnson said in an interview with CBS 3 that Hill called him around 8:30 p.m. on his personal phone in a panic. I told him, "You gotta surrender, man," said Johnson, who added that he has known Hill for about a decade. Hill's history of the adult criminal justice system began in 2001 when he was 18 and was arrested with a gun that had an altered serial number. So this guy has a record of gun crimes. Sounds like illegal guns mostly. Public records show that he has been arrested about a dozen times since turning 18 and convicted 6 times on charges that involved illegal possession of guns, drug dealing, and aggravated assault. He has been in and out of prison. The longest sentence handed him came in 2010 when a federal judge gave him a 55-month term. So anyway, this is just more detail on the shooter. Getting into the shooting a little bit, Philadelphia police shooting, what you should know. In an hours-long gun battle turned standoff Wednesday, 6 Philadelphia police officers were shot, and 2 others barricaded for hours inside a home with a gunman in the Tioga section of the city. After hours of shooting from the home windows, while the 2 officers trapped inside inside the house radio for help, the gunman, identified as 36-year-old Maurice Hill of Philadelphia, surrendered to police and was taken into custody around midnight. Now, here's the thing. There's usually a common denominator. Usually, not always. There have been some that have been not so the same common denominator, but Usually, when a suspect comes out and is taken alive, surrenders, usually they don't die in the altercation. So you got a guy here, obviously taken into custody. He's not dead. Black man made it through the thing, not dead. Didn't resist arrest. His lawyer gave him that advice, and he got taken alive. It seems to be that when people decide to resist arrest, that is when they end up pushing up flowers from the wrong side of the ground. So there you go. Just, if you're gonna do some bullshit, don't resist arrest. Go and stay alive. Anyway, here's the things you should know. Six officers were shot, all released from the hospital. The shooting began around 4:30 p.m. So after the arrest warrant, we already know that. 2 more officers and hostages were barricaded inside. They were trapped with handcuffed hostages for hours inside the home with the gunman as they precariously radioed police on the outside for help. One officer was holed up in the rear bedroom with 2 prisoners, while the other 2 took cover in a bathroom with a prisoner as the gunman on the first floor fired bullets through the ceiling. Wow. Fearing a potential hostage situation, Police Commissioner Richard Ross pleaded with the gunman from outside the home to end the night peacefully. Hours into the standoff, Ross confirmed that the 2 officers and handcuffed prisoners trapped inside had escaped safely. It's nothing short of a miracle that we don't have multiple officers killed today. So, wow. The gunman, more about Maurice Hill. What else? Daycares were on lockdown while the gunfire erupted from a block away. Precious Baby's daycare remained on lockdown for more than 3 hours. Dozens of children hunkered down on the daycare stairwell to protect them from stray bullets as their terrified parents anxiously awaited updates. Also, neighborhood was at a standstill. Temple University nearby medical campus was placed on lockdown as the gun battle unfolded, while the SEPTA officials instructed trains and buses to avoid nearby stops. Meanwhile, neighbors close to the standoff were ordered not to enter their homes. SEPTA service was also disrupted. The response: the White House and Governor Tom Wolf were briefed on the situations as it developed. After the officers trapped inside the home were freed, Mayor Jim Kennedy called for stricter gun control measures. Dude! Okay, you just... Okay, so what would that have done for this situation? What would it have done? If this is a guy who is a penchant for illegal weapons, what good would any gun control measure have done? He said, if the state and federal government don't want to stand up to the NRA, let us police ourselves, he said. Our officers deserve to be protected. This guy was not an NRA member. Oh my God. Someone else was on TV. Kamala Harris was on TV kind of talking the same thing. Oh my gosh. Pincalo, you are so spot on. Read what Pincalo wrote. Do you think because there were 3 schools locked down, it will be considered 3 separate school shootings as well? Yeah, that's kind of how they count school shootings these days. If it has a tangential relationship to a school, they'll consider it a school shooting. Because there's been ones where there was a gang shooting outside the fence of the school on a weekend, and they counted that in the school shooting numbers. Unbelievable. By the way, good morning, Pincalo. Good morning, Mr. Dax. How are you doing? Holy God. So anyway, that's the things you got to know. That's from the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's going to be fascinating. I haven't been on Twitter that much this morning, but I haven't seen a whole lot about this anymore. There's people talking about it, but I'm not seeing the national news on it. And holy shit. It's just like, you got to know why. You know why. Holy shit. Oh, well, maybe because of his race. I don't know. That's possible. I just want everyone to treat all these things the same way. Anyway, and then there's another article in the Philadelphia. I'm not going to go through this one. If you want to read this, I'll pop this one in the chat. Just kind of the details of how the thing unfolded. I think we got a pretty good idea based on what we've read so far. So anyway, that guy won't be packing for a while because I got a feeling he's going to go to prison for quite a long time. Basically, those are 6 counts of attempted murder, if not more. 6 counts of assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Probably some kidnapping charges, some drug charges. So anyway. All right. Let's see here. What do we got? The theme is Packin today. By the way, I think we can have a FTG for Maurice Hill. Can we get an FTG for Maurice Hill? May he spend a great deal of time contemplating things behind lots of metal and plastic shit, bars, whatever. And honestly, FTG for the mayor too. Sorry, but you're a dumbass. All right. All right, let's move on. What's my next one? I think this one has something to do with Packin too. Oh yeah, this guy that was packing. Apparently, the FBI says there's no question that the ICE shooting was a targeted attack. Music makes me want to break dance. Well, it's kind of a combination of funk and 80s hip hop. I'm not hearing it I don't hear it that well because I turned that down. But anyway, no question ICE shooting was a target attack, says the FBI. ICE office in San Antonio was shot several times early Tuesday morning. We talked about this yesterday, leaving several windows shattered. The FBI has taken over the investigation into the attack, with a spokesman confirming the shooting was intentional and coordinated. Anyway, these shootings were cowardly, brazen, and violent acts, absolutely without justification, and a threat to our entire community. Christopher Combs, the FBI special agent in charge in San Antonio, said in a statement Tuesday provided to the Daily Caller News Foundation. An attempt to attack federal employees is a federal crime with serious consequences. The FBI will relentlessly pursue every lead in this case to find the individuals who were responsible, he added. Early Tuesday morning, San Antonio Police Department responded to a shooting that occurred around 3 a.m. local time. The law enforcement discovered several rounds were fired not only at an ICE office, but also at a company's office nearby that does not contract work with ICE. Combs noted that all of the shots that we have found were on the floors where ICE has offices, so there's no question this was a targeted attack. Fortunately, no one was killed or injured, but the attack left several windows shattered. Oh, no one was injured either? I thought someone was injured. I thought someone had had glass shattered near them. Anyway, ICE spokesman told the DCNF agents have been barred from working near the windows where the shots landed, as the areas are now considered crime scenes. And they had initially apprehended a suspect, but he was not involved, they figured out. So, ICE was not the only targeted Tuesday morning's attack. GEO Group's Central Region office, located in the same office building and conducts contract work with ICE, was also shot at. So anyway, whoever's packing, FTG to that guy too. I'm sorry, FTG. Anything else in this one? Yeah, that's good enough. Oh. Yes, the San Antonio shooting, though, it marks the second attack against an ICE facility in 2 months. The 69-year-old dude with ties to Antifa died in a shootout with police. When he attempted to light an ICE facility in Washington State on fire. In a manifesto discovered by law enforcement, the left-wing terrorists described the detention centers as concentration camps. Hey, where have we heard that before? I know we've heard that before. Let's see. Oh, yeah. In a manifesto discovered by law enforcement, the left-wing terrorists described the detention centers as concentration camps, a comparison popularized by New York Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But she has a new name, and I'll tell you how she got it. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We'll get into that one a little later. But big fat FTG for whoever shot out the windows of the ICE building. All right, moving on. What's the next one here? Oh yeah. Okay, you saw it for a flash of a second. You saw it, but I'm gonna tell you what this is. So the pedophile one, the Mr. Young Girl Trafficker of, whatever. Jeffrey Epstein had a painting of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress and red high heels hanging inside his Manhattan home. What the hell? Source who saw it during a business meeting told Daily Mail TV about its existence. The blue dress seemed to be a pointed reference to Clinton's former intern Monica Lewinsky, who wore a blue dress during their tryst in the White House. The painting was snapped inside the pedophile's mansion in 2012, 7 years before he was accused of running a sex trafficking ring of underage girls. The original painting, called Parsing Bill, is by Australian-American artist Patrina Ryan Clyde, although it is unclear if Epstein had bought the canvas or had a print mounted. Ryan Clyde exhibited for her degree show when she graduated with a Master of Fine Arts in 2012 from the New York Academy of Art. A source who asked to remain anonymous was visiting Epstein to present a business proposal. She told Daily Mail TV it's absolutely Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. It was shocking. It was a very provocative sexual picture. Epstein and Clinton were friends with the 72-year-old flying on the now deceased financier's private plane, including, his private planes, I should say, including the Lolita Express several times. The source also claimed she saw a young Hispanic girl waiting to meet with Epstein after her business meeting, saying the girl looked about 14. Epstein was found dead by suicide on Saturday after he was arrested in July, and here is the picture. Okay, and then obviously they have a picture of Hillary over here and a picture of Bill there, but the picture on the left is the painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. Yeah, go figure. So he's packing, right? But hey, let me get an FTG for what's his name? Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein? Can we get an FTG for? Let's get it. Let's do the double FTG for Bill and Jeffrey. FTG. There, you get a double FTG, sir. Double FTG. He's definitely packing. Did you hear about the new thing where they were talking? Where they're talking about they found a whole bunch of kids' bones in the waters around some sort of temple-looking thing? It's trending on Twitter. I haven't seen it yet, but if it's trending on Twitter, we will see it a little bit later. Thanks, Pincalo. I appreciate it. Now, there is one candidate for president on the Democratic side who is also packing a military actual assault rifle. That would be Tulsi Gabbard. While the other 2020 Democrats are busy pandering, Tulsi Gabbard is serving our country. I think this is interesting. If you didn't know, she is still in the National Guard. Presidential aspirant Elizabeth Warren wants you to know that she is very, very relatable. Very relatable. She'll drink beer on a on a Twitter live stream. Anyway, Warren, along with many of the other 2020 candidates, was sure to share photos of her eating corn dogs and other food with common folk at the Iowa State Fair. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris just wished Muslims a happy holiday within hours of tweeting a video of her chomping down on a pork chop. The California Democrat was too busy pandering to notice the irony. Add to this Cory Booker and Beto O'Rourke's cringeworthy attempts to speak Spanish on the debate stage. And another reminder that most of the 2020 Democrats are desperately trying to come across as relatable and in touch, but coming up empty. Meanwhile, their iconoclastic opponent, Tulsi Gabbard, is actively serving our country. Gabbard is the only combat veteran running for president. With a long and meritorious record of military service, she deployed to Iraq after 9/11 and continues to serve in the Army National Guard Reserve. When Gabbard's continued service is viewed in light of the efforts of her competitors, they look meek and inauthentic in comparison. So this is clearly an editorial. You know what? And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, but even compared to Trump, her service is real. I mean, I like I said, I like Tulsi Gabbard. I think she has a good head on her shoulders. She's very smart. She's, personally, I think she would be the most difficult presidential candidate for Trump to run against. But unfortunately, the mainstream Democrats can't stand her. So, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't mind if she replaced Mike Pence, except she's pretty out there on the left too, though. But she comes off as very sensible and reasonable. Anyway, now Gabbard is deployed for 2 weeks in Indonesia, where she'll participate in joint military exercises with the Indonesian military, according to Town Hall. Even in the midst of an ultra-competitive breakneck presidential race, which she is not exactly winning, Gabbard is putting her country before her political aspirations. Now, I'm not sure what this video is. Let's just find out.
You're real close to making the next debate,
Yes.
and you got this overseas deployment now. How much does that set back your campaign?
I'm not thinking about the politics of it. I'm proud to be able to have the opportunity to serve my country in different ways, and I'm looking forward to fulfilling that duty. And I've got great campaign team and volunteers who will continue carrying on the campaign in my absence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway,
you're real close to making the next debate,
yes.
and you got this overseas.
And she just seems so incredibly genuine. So I have a lot of respect for her. So I'm not. Obviously, we don't have an FTG for her today. By the way, let's move on. But here is an FTG one that we're going to go to next. PolitiFact refuses to fact check Warren and Harris about Michael Brown. This is fascinating to me. Now, if you pay attention to PolitiFact and Snopes, we know that they tend to lean on the, well, they absolutely, what's my wording here? They don't fact check Democrats. Let's just put it that way. Or at least they don't, they give them a lot of leeway. But if it's conservative, you bet your booty that they're going to fact check you and going to find a way to make you wrong however they do. But here's an interesting one. They're not going to rate the claim by Warren and Harris saying that Michael Brown was murdered because it's open to dispute. Now let's this is funny because even Vox wrote an article fact checking Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris when they said, because they tweeted over the weekend about Michael Brown being murdered. Anyway, the fact-checking website PolitiFact refused to use its signature Truthometer to rate the false claim by Senator Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris that the death of Michael Brown was a murder. PolitiFact, and they're pandering and bringing up old wounds. PolitiFact bucked other prominent fact-checkers in the mainstream media, such as the Washington Post, by refusing to declare the presidential candidate's words untruthful. Both politicians published tweets describing police officer Darren Wilson's killing of Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, as a murder. Murder has meaning, people. There is no question that Wilson killed Brown, and there's strong evidence that it was not accidental, PolitiFact wrote. Well, it was not accidental. No one said it was accidental. They're saying it's murder. Oh my God. In discussing the case with legal experts, however, we found broad consensus that murder was the wrong word to use. A legal point likely familiar to Harris, a longtime prosecutor, and Warren, a law professor. So if murder was the wrong word to use, and they used the word murder, then it is false. The site added, however, that while both presidential candidates were contradicting the consensus among legal experts, it would not be fair to subject them to the truthometer because of the complicated questions surrounding police shootings. Well, if a grand jury didn't charge the officer and the Obama Justice Department came in and investigated the case and did not charge Darren Wilson. Is that his name? Darren Wilson? Darren Wilson. Because they found no reason to believe that this was not a justified shooting, then it was not a murder, you boneheads. Dawg Knight, do I like Andrew Yang? I haven't paid attention to Andrew Yang. Here's my problem with Andrew Yang, which makes me not want to listen to another word he says. And maybe I should listen to it, but I'm not at this point. His idea of giving everyone in the United States, every adult or whatever in the United States, $1,000 a month is flat out stupid. Okay, it just is. We've gone. Look. I'll get back to that in a minute. Let's finish this, and I'll get back to Andrew Yang. The Post, on the other hand, used its own fact-checking system to say that Harris and Warren were wrong in their assessment of the Michael Brown incident. The newspaper gave Warren and Harris 4 Pinocchios, its harshest rating for a single untrue claim. Harris and Warren have ignored the findings of the Justice Department to accuse Wilson of murder, even though the Justice Department found no credible evidence to support that claim, reporter Glenn Kessler wrote. Instead, the Justice Department found that the popular narrative was wrong, according to witnesses deemed to be credible, some of whom testified reluctantly because of fear of reprisal. The department produced a comprehensive report to determine what happened, making the senator's dismissal of it even more galling. In the past, PolitiFact has tweeted that it has never rated Warren below a half-true rating on its truthometer. Senator Warren has been on the PolitiFact truthometer 17 times with no rating below half-true. The website's account tweeted during the first Democratic debate in June. And there it is, their tweet. Anyway... All right, anyway, so we need an FTG for PolitiFact. Just straight up fat FTG. Fuck those guys. They're ridiculous. Here is their PolitiFact thing, and you're actually going to show it to you. The death of Michael Brown, legal facts, and Democratic messaging. 2 Democratic presidential candidates recently observed the 5th anniversary of Michael Brown's death by police officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, a case that sparked the Black Lives Matter movements as well as days of unrest locally. Senator Kamala Harris, Democrat California, tweeted, "Michael Brown's murder forever changed Ferguson and America." just maddening. And Senator Warren did the same thing. And after these tweets came out, PolitiFact heard from numerous readers who asked to check whether Harris and Warren were correct in calling Brown's death a murder. No, they were not correct. Okay? Murder isn't a murder until you are convicted of murder in a court of law. Until then, it's you're innocent until proven guilty. Thanks. In discussing the case with legal experts, however, we found a broad consensus that murder was the wrong word to use. Yeah, we already talked about this. If it's the wrong word to use, then they are untrue. In fact, 2 other Democratic senators with law degrees now running for president, Cory Booker and Kirsten Gillibrand, more accurately referred to it as a killing. Yeah, they got killed. In a justifiable homicide. They could have said homicide. Homicide just means you were killed by a person. That would have been fine. Murder has a very, very specific definition under the law, and neither of the senators should have used the word murder. What they did instead is they decided to pander to black people. Don't pander. First of all, I'm a black person. I don't appreciate using that word because it's not what happened. Okay. And also I don't want you pandering. Okay. I'm tired of it. You know, it's funny. The day she did that, somebody tweeted something about it and, you know, saying that this is a lie. And I was thinking to myself, oh no, don't tell her that's a lie. Cause they're trying to get black people to vote for them. Right? That's all they're doing. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, PolitiFact didn't even bring out the truth-o-meter. And they read a long, dumbass article out here. I'm sorry, but under the law, the word murder is the wrong word to use because murder has a specific meaning within the law. One's a former prosecutor, she should know that, and the other is a professor of law, or at least she was. In fact, she was the only minority professor in the law school at Harvard. And I'm not talking about Kamala Harris. And I wish the president would stop calling her Pocahontas. It's faux Pocahontas. F-A-U-X. Pocahontas. Pocahontas. Hey! I got it. Can I get an FTG for PolitiFact? Wait a minute. Here, hang on. Can I get an FTG for PolitiFact? FTG for Elizabeth Warren. And an FTG for Kamala Harris. There you go. There's all three of them. They can all get an FTG. All right. We are moving ahead. Oh! This is kind of more a little lighthearted thing I brought up. I don't know if you were paying attention the other day, but the CEO of Barstool Sports, his name is Dave Portnoy. Now, if you're not familiar with Barstool Sports, they're kind of I would say satirical, but they talk about sports, but they're really kind of more comedians. They laugh about sports. They have funny podcasts. They do all kinds of stuff. And Dave Portnoy has built up this just company. They're kind of a funny site of a comedian sports blog. All right, so this is kind of funny. Barstool Sports founder and CEO Dave Portnoy responded to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez amid a feud over his tweet that he would fire any employee attempting to form a union. Now, here's the thing. So something was happening on Twitter, and something happened, and he started making jokes about union at Barstool Sports. Now, no one at Barstool Sports is attempting to form a union. That's not even, no one's was thinking about it. Apparently he treats his employees pretty well, and you know, there's that's not even in the mix. So he got on Twitter, he was joking about something. And so somebody named Rafi Letzer, who's an attorney, said, if you work at Barstool and want to have a private chat about the unionization process, how little power your boss has to stop you, and how you can leverage that power to make your life better, my DMs are open. Now, he was referring to this because another company, apparently, some other sports, similar thing to Barstool Sports, but does a completely different thing. Apparently, their staff began to unionize. And so this guy, let's see, what was he replying to? Okay, here it is. Oh, here it is. Gawker writers voted to unionize. Staffers of Gawker Media voted to unionize Wednesday, hoping to employ workspace tactics and resources that, have been used, And the thing is, Apparently Gawker Media is coming back, and I don't even know when that tweet's from. So on August 12th, Dave Portnoy, as kind of joke, hey, Ringer employees want to unionize. A little refresher on how I feel about unions. Gawker writers vote to unionize. So he wrote this thing on Barstool Sports, and so he puts this out, okay? And this was something about... So here's his article. Let's read this. Staffers at Gawker Media voted, this is from the USA Today, staffers at Gawker Media voted to unionize Wednesday, hoping to employ workplace tactics and resources that have been used by newspaper writers and copy editors for decades, but have largely been absent in digital media. 80 of 107 staffers at the company, they have 107 staffers at Gawker Media. Holy shit, they're only going to have about 50 after the end of the month. Anyway, which publishes Gawker, Deadspin, Jezebel, Lifehacker, and other online news and blog sites voted to be represented by the Writers Guild of America East, for collective bargaining. Gawker said, as Gawker writers have demonstrated, organizing in digital media is a real option, not an abstraction, Lowell Peterson, executive director of the Writers Guild of America East, said in a statement. We are eager for Gawker's editorial staff to join our creative community, and we are eager to negotiate blah, 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 negotiate a fair contract. So, then his article says, blah! I hope and pray that Barstool employees try to unionize. I can't tell you how much I want them to unionize, just so I can smash their little union to smithereens. Nothing would please me more than to break it into a million little pieces. Oh, you think you deserve health insurance? You don't think you should have to work with squirrels in the office? You don't think I should duct tape Hank to the walls? Well, now you just can leave. No more free water, no more vacation days. I'm going to dump rats into the walls. You haven't seen anything yet. Unionize Nate, unionize Trent. I dare you. Trent, you'll be back working security at Walmart in the blink of an eye. KFC will be doing my accounting. No more fancy pants weddings. Hank will be an exhibit in the Museum of Science. Unionize. I dare you. El Presidente. Now, so that's him. Obviously... that is a tongue-in-cheek thing. And I don't know how many staff he has at Barstool Sports, but he named 2 people. Okay? It's a sports blog, right? All right, so that's where this started. So then this Rafi, whatever his name, says, if you work for Barstool Sports and want to have a private chat about the unionization process, how little power your boss has to stop you, and how you can leverage that power to make your life better, my DMs are open. To which he replied, hey, Ringer employees. What? Ringer employees? Oh, wait, no. Anyway, he replies with, what the hell happened to my oh, no. Oh, here it is. Sorry. So he replies, if you work for Barstool Sports and DM this man, I will fire you on the spot. So he's just playing with his employees. He's thinking this is funny, right? So, in addition to drawing attention from the labor unions, in fact, the AFL-CIO sent a message to the National Labor Relations Board about this tweet, thinking he was being serious. It was a joke, though. But Portnoy's tweet also gained attention from the New York Democrat, who tweeted, if you're a boss tweeting firing threats to employees trying to unionize, you are likely breaking the law and can be sued, in your words, on the spot. All the workers in the U.S. have a protected freedom to organize for better conditions. See NLRB and union organizations like AFL-CIO for tips. Which he knows they can unionize if they want to. Anyway, Portnoy chastised people who took his tweet seriously, since they are well known for trolling and for their style of comedy. The people that think I'm going to jail, they're idiots. Let me clarify real quick. We are a comedy site. We're pretty clear about that. We have no union at Barstool Sports. Nobody is trying to make a union at Barstool Sports, Portnoy said Wednesday on Tucker Carlson Tonight. I'm talking about Barstool Sports, and I'm making fun of our own employees, saying if you try to make a union, I will crush you. And these morons who have no idea what we do jump into the fray like AOC. And here's where I got it from. Oh, crazy-o. He continued. Porter said the site has had their best day of traffic in the history of the company since his spat with Ocasio-Cortez. She also sent out a fundraising email about her online fight with the company. So she tried to fundraise off of this. Oh my gosh, over just a kind of a gag troll thing. So this is pretty funny. So she sent out whatever. I won't play the video. It's pretty funny. If you want to go on here, I'll put the link to this in the chat. You can watch the video of his response yourself. There you go. All right. Hey, let's get into Twitter trends because it's about that time. Just a reminder, though, if you have anything you want to add I got to see right away. I do have the... what do I have? Oh, Streamlabs link. Streamlabs link down below. You can do super chats through Streamlabs. I do not have them via YouTube. And I'm going to finish my question to Toasted Network. By the way, good morning, Toasted Network. I didn't even say hi when I saw your question. About the Andrew Yang thing. Yeah, I just... I got to maybe listen to him more about his concept of giving every person $1,000 a month. But that just means you have to take money from people. I mean, okay, so you're gonna take money from people. You're gonna take what the equivalent of, let's say of the 350 million people in the United States. Okay, let's say roughly half. So what is that? Well, let's say 180 million adults. That's a little more than half, right? So let's take 180 million. Okay, 180 million times 1,000. Okay, so we're looking at $180 trillion or billion. No, 180 billion. $180 billion. Okay. You want a program of $180 billion. So first of all, you've got to take that $180 billion on top of everything else the Democrats want to give you. On top of health care and free college and paying off the college loans that are already out there. Blah, blah, blah. You're talking about giving everyone $1,000 a month for... Now, let's say... So everyone's getting $1,000 a month, but you know what? Then what happens in the economy? Doesn't with everyone having more money, aren't people just prices gonna go up by that much? Basically, everything you do is gonna cost more, and then you're gonna take this money from people, and then let's say you take some guys paying $36,000 in taxes, and is gonna get back $1,000 a month. I don't know. I've got to see the plan. I'm extremely skeptical. Okay, he's a smart man, he's a businessman, whatever. But that plan really I don't know how you do that. Guaranteed. They kind of already do this, don't they? Don't they already do this with welfare though? And there, you're only giving it to the people that you're giving money to the people that need it to survive. I don't mind that necessarily. But why give it to everybody? Okay, not everybody needs it. I mean, most people don't need it. Okay, the goal is to not have anyone getting money from the government, that they're making their own money. Now you're saying it's because the manufacturing jobs and everything's going to be automated and this and that, blah blah blah, and yet right now we have an economy with the lowest employment ever, and our employment age base isn't necessarily growing. Okay, the boomer generation, which is the largest generation, is just now hitting that age where they're starting to die off. So I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me, but I don't get his plan. I'm not necessarily on to that. All right. So I had a whole bunch of headlines. I never tweeted this on Twitter. I tweeted on Gab and I tweeted it on Minds, but I didn't tweet the show on Twitter. I'm just going to put, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put is live. Oops. Is live. All right. I meant to tweet that a while ago. But now I do have some notifications here. What do my notifications say here? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for putting out the show on the Twitters, because I didn't do it. That was dumb. I'll look at a smile and a retweet for Sarah, too. Thank you so much. Anyway, Sarah, are you even still here? I know you were here earlier, but I know your schedule's kind of changed a little bit. So, anyway, we're doing pretty good here. All right, let's get into Twitter trends. I had some bookmark stuff too. What else do I have here? Here, let me put this back on the screen. Oh, this is one. This is breaking news a while ago though, but Jeffrey Epstein sustained multiple breaks in his neck bones, deepening the mystery about the circumstances around his death. Oh my. Now, such breaks can occur in those who hang themselves, but they are more common in victims of homicide by strangulation. Now, it's a Washington Post article. I can't do anything with it, but you know what? It also adds to the mystery of when they were hearing shrieks and screams or whatever. People were hearing noises from his cell. It's almost like they need to check some bank accounts. Autopsy, experts say that hyoid-borne happens in suicide by hanging, but is more typical in homicides by strangulation. Also, the several police officers. We did that already. I'm going to move that one. Oh, and then apparently Beto O'Rourke. Go ahead and just type the FTG right now. Beto O'Rourke is delivering a major address today. A major address by Beto O'Rourke today. I wonder what he's going to say. Beto will return to the campaign trail and deliver his first major address. Okay, you know what? Beto's a former congressman, failed Senate run. I don't consider any address major unless they have a position of power. So the president can give a major address. Perhaps the Speaker of the House of the United States can give a major address. The leader of the Senate can give a major address. A prominent committee chairman can give a major address, maybe. But Beto O'Rourke, a guy who barely has 2%. Check that. 5% in a Democratic primary. How about you just say that he's going to give an address? It's not a major address because people got to care. El Paso, Texas. On Thursday morning, Beto will deliver his first major address to the nation from his hometown of El Paso, Texas. Beto will continue to seek the Democratic nomination for president and return to the trail on Thursday. Following his speech and his remarks will outline a path forward for his presidential campaign and for the future of the country. Beto returned to El Paso following the act of terror targeting the city's Latinx. There it is! To Latinx community at the Cielo Vista Walmart just over a week ago. He has remained in his hometown to offer support to victims and grieving residents and to honor the legacy of the 22 people who lost their lives. Yeah, he had his speech this morning, and all he said is that he's not going to focus on the other Democrats. His campaign is going to focus on attacking the president, which, what else does he do anyway? Seriously, Beto, you needed a major address for that? Oh, just to tell us that you are still running. Speaking of which, John Hickenlooper has decided to leave the race and is looking at aspiring to become a senator of whatever state he's from. If you don't know why I'm laughing, think about the last sentence I just said. Oh, this is pretty cool too. I got to show you this. Check this out. Oh man, would that be a great thing to have for parallel parking? Look at that again. That's why I bookmarked it. I thought that was just pretty damn cool. All right, so, and this should be an option for every new vehicle purchased in America. Call it a girl's best friend. All right, there you go. One more thing. This is just stuff. It's funny. There's stuff I save on here sometimes, but look, hold on. I'm gonna start this over. You got to check this out. All right, now look at this. I'm gonna make this bigger. Can you see that now? That's probably better, right? All right, now watch this. This is amazing. Watch this dude go, and you'll see it almost from the beginning. Here we go. All right, there he is. Look at the guy in the middle. Look at the guy in the middle. Look at the guy in the middle. That dude is like Randy Moss. Holy smokes, he got down there and scored. He scored! Goal! Dude, that dude was wheeling. That dude was flying. All right, enough of the bookmark tweets. Let's get into Twitter trends today. Explore and trends. U.S. trends today. Number 1 today is Thursday thoughts. Not Thursday thoughts, but Thursday thoughts. All right, starting with let's see what he got. First Thursday thought. Oh no. Oh, who wore it best is starting out. Please vote and retweet for more accurate results. Is this who wore it better? Monica, Bill, or Hillary? Tell you what, let's do an informal poll within my own chat. Who wore it better? A, Monica, B, Bill, or C, Hillary? Oh, damn, Johnny Hellcat. That's bad. That's bad. Holy shit. Oh, you ran like Naruto. Oh, my God. Who wore it better? You know what? I got to tell you. Cynic Lindsay. I'm going to see if we get any more votes. So far, we have A. Oh, Epstein wore it better. No, I don't know. A, Mr. Dax. I'm just taking my time because I have a delay in when I see your lovely votes in the chat room down the side of my screen. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, yeah, I gotta go with Monica Lewinsky here. I mean, if I'm being serious, okay. All right, anyway. Well, okay, what else? Okay, what are we doing? More Thursday thoughts. Okay, let's see. Uh-oh. Have you ever had a deja vu where you linked the familiarity and memory to something you dreamed in the past? Days, weeks, months, even years. If so, I would love to hear about it. Thursday thoughts. Like and retweet us. So that's someone named Ian Wilson who does something. He's a dreaming. What does Ian Wilson do? Dreamers helping dreamers dream. View profile for dream techniques. Be the dreamer you are meant to be. Follow and I follow back. Be truth. Be love. Be one. Be Marianne Williamson. All right. Let's see. Any other good Thursday? Try changing your attitude towards your problems instead of fixing your problems. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Anyway, all right, enough of Thursday thoughts. Number 2, Nipsey. Apparently, people are remembering Nipsey Hussle today. Apparently, is it his birthday or something? Oh, yes, fans are paying tribute to Nipsey Hussle on his birthday. It's hard to look at the contours of Nipsey Hussle's life and not see something like the embodiment of the American dream. You know what? That is absolutely true. This dude was, I wasn't even familiar with the guy until he died. I mean, I heard his name. But this is a guy who you have to respect. And it's so sad that he gets killed in his own neighborhood. The guy, becomes, makes some money becoming a rapper. I don't know if he was a that made him rich or anything, but he was, he had some ties to Dr. Dre and made some money in that business, and then decided to bring business back to his own neighborhood, and it's maddening that this guy who really wanted something good for the place he grew up, gets killed. 2 days before this year's Grammy Awards, the late Nipsey Hussle took me on a tour of the small strip mall on West Slauson Avenue in Los Angeles, where he earned his name as a youngster. He opened his Marathon clothing store there before making perhaps the proudest purchase of his life in the plaza itself. He bought the entire plaza in February. Nipsey and his business partner, David Gross, had a grand plan to turn the property into a mixed-use condo development with the help of Opportunity Zone tax breaks favored by billionaires and venture capitalists. Opportunity zones. Where have I heard that before? Opportunity zones. Oh, that's that program that that's the program the Trump administration had. Anyway. And that was just the beginning. The vision is to launch franchises, said Nipsey, imagining a line of marathon stores, barbershops, fish markets, and restaurants. There's such a narrative to this parking lot, and that's part of my story as an artist. In a cruel twist, Nipsey was gunned down in that very parking lot, bringing the mortal chapter of his story to a close. He was 33 years old. Almost immediately, tributes poured in from famous friends ranging from Rihanna to John Legend. News reports flooded in too, focusing more on how he died than what he had been working on just before his passing. Although some mentioned the Marathon store, the fact that Nipsey had just bought the block seemed to go relatively unnoticed. It's hard to look at the contours of Nipsey's life and death and not see something like the embodiment of the American dream. Born Ermias Ashgadam to Eritrean immigrant father and an American mother, Nipsey grew up in the Crenshaw section of Los Angeles, where his parents got what he described as the worst house on the best block. He showed an early aptitude for business, albeit the illicit sort, but fell in with a local gang. But Nipsey's focus eventually turned to music and creative ways he could monetize it when his career as an independent artist started to gain momentum. In 2013, he decided to press just 1,000 copies of his mixtape Crenshaw and sell them for $100 a piece. Jay-Z bought 100, and Nipsey plowed the profits into his own record label, All Money In. I believe in economics based on the scarcity of markets, he told Forbes at the time, and it's possible to monetize your art without compromising the integrity of it for commerce. After building leverage on his own, thanks in part to the financial advice he'd regularly deliver along vehicular boasts in his increasingly popular mixtapes, Nipsey signed with Atlantic Records in a deal that let him keep significant ownership of his master recordings. His major label debut, Victory Lap, earned a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album this year and lost to Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy. Yet it seemed Nipsey's most impactful moves were yet to come. Even on his visit to his Marathon store barely 48 hours before his first Grammy ceremony, he appeared more focused on Our Opportunity, a coalition led by Gross. Nipsey joined as a founding partner to pair investors with local stars in 10 cities to build sweeping opportunity zone-based funds. So he was going to take advantage and teach other people how to take advantage of this opportunity zone thing. You see, this is something so that the racist Donald Trump put together. Nipsey Hussle was taking advantage of that to take care of his neighborhood, and he was trying to get other artists to do the same. That's as I've read. Okay, that's in here. Nipsey passed away just as he was crossing into mainstream stardom, and many of his plans for himself went with him. But parts of his grander vision for his community and beyond are already in the works. With any luck, they'll continue to build on his legacy long into the future. So, this is. I wish I would have known more about this. This is the kind of guy I want kids to idolize. Not because of the music part, but because of what he wants to build. He wants to build something for himself, build something for his community, getting other people to do the same thing, taking advantage of things that God forbid, Donald Trump came up with. I don't know. It's sad that he died. I would have loved to seen him succeed in what his plan was, because he sounded like he had a plan. Anyway, so people are honoring Nipsey Hussle Day on his birthday. That's number, I don't even know what number it is. Oops, what the hell did I do there? Okay, moving on. Netanyahu is trending number 3. Consider blocking Omar and Tlaib from entering Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is considering barring U.S. Democratic Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar's entry into Israel on Friday. Okay, Dean Obadiah, I'm sure, is going to be against this because he's a jackass. No surprise about Netanyahu banning Reps Omar and Tlaib. We long told you he was a racist. That has nothing. Oh my God. You have no other go-to. You have one. You're a one-trick pony. This isn't about their race. This is about their hatred for Israel. And many times. And you know what? I think Netanyahu's wrong. Okay, I think Netanyahu's wrong. I think he should let them into Israel and show them how Israel can treat people who disagree with them. So that's why I disagree with Netanyahu. But this has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with him being. Holy shit. Reminder from the 2015 election when he declared to his base that Arabs are voting in droves to scare them to vote. Well, hey! Huh. Interesting. Oh, Arabs can vote in Israel? Oh, Dean Obadiah? Yeah, so Arabs can vote in Israel. Because I'm pretty sure Jews can't vote in Palestine, or in Saudi Arabia, or Yemen, or any other Muslim countries. But Arabs can vote in Israel. Fascinating. I did not know that. Thanks for reminding me. Just in, Israel. Oh, they in fact 11 minutes ago. Here's the latest news on that. Israel. Oh, well, now I lost it. Israel did in fact bar them. Israel bars Representative Omar and Tlaib from entering country after pressure was. Okay, here's the Axios article from 12 minutes ago. Israel bars Representative Omar and Tlaib from entering after pressure from Trump. Pressure from Trump? Really? Following pressure from President Trump, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has backtracked on his decision to allow Reps Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib to enter the country and is barring the congressmen over their support of the BDS movement. Okay, that's over the BDS movement. How is this pressure from Trump? Maybe they'll say in the article. Let's just read the rest. We got to go here in a second. Israel's decided we won't enable members of Congress to enter the members of Congress to enter the country. We won't allow those who deny our right to exist in this world to enter Israel. The principle is a very justified decision. That's from Deputy Foreign Minister Tzipi Hlotalavi. Why it matters. Netanyahu's reversal creates an unprecedented moment. An ally of the United States has duly banned 2 elected members of Congress from entering this country. It could cause a huge crisis with the Democratic Party and damage the U.S.-Israel relationship. Big picture. Axios' Jonathan Swan and I reported this weekend that Trump was unhappy with Netanyahu's decision to allow Omar and Tlaib to enter the country, telling his advisors that Israel should bar the congresswoman. On Thursday, he tweeted that it would show great weaknesses if Israel allowed them in, claiming that the lawmakers hate Israel and all Jewish people. Now, I don't know that they hate all Jewish people, particularly Omar. She has Jewish constituents in her district. I have no idea. I don't know enough about Tlaib to know. I know she's hypercritical of Israel, but she is also a Palestinian American. Her mother lives in Palestine, or the West Bank, I think. But anyway, yesterday I reported that Israel is concerned Omar and Tlaib would try to visit Jerusalem's Temple Mount, the most important holy site for Jews and the third most important for Muslims around the world, with Palestinian officials. Netanyahu has cited his respect for Congress in a decision several weeks ago to allow Omar and Tlaib to enter. In addition, Tlaib has family in the West Bank and is the daughter of Palestinian immigrants. The pair of congresswomen were expected to arrive in Israel on Friday. I don't know if going back if this was a good idea, but it's they are pro BDS movement. They're anti-Israel. I don't know that it was the right move, but I think it's Israel's decision to make. Netanyahu, you and Trump are disgusting pieces of shit. I don't know. Israel bans U.S. officials, yet bootlicks Trump, who praises white nationalists who chant Jews will not defeat us. Yeah, he didn't do that, so shut the fuck up. No, that's such a lie. That's such a lie. Stop. Oh my God, that lie's just getting so old. It's just so old. I don't think this is the right move, but I don't. Jesus Christ. They don't believe Israel has a right to exist. I don't know what you do about that. I don't know how you let people in the country that do that. Although we do it all the time. We because the United Nations is based here, so we let people that we don't think should be here in our country sometimes. Who knows? Anyway, let's get through the rest of Twitter trends so I can get out of here, because I got stuff to do, unfortunately. Number 3, Thursday Thoughts. Not going to do it. Nipsey, we got that. Oh, that's what happened. I was like, where'd my list go? Thursday, let's see. National Relaxation Day. I might have to take a nap. Hey, Della Hayes, I just saw you pop in. How you doing? Good to see you. Tlaib, that's what. Okay, Omar and Tlaib is trending. CVS denies care. What? CVS does. How could anyone die from CVS denies care if they were already dead from climate change and net neutrality and Kavanaugh on the stream? What is okay? What is CVS Pharmacy's Health Pack is one of the largest financial backers of Trump's re-election campaign. Okay, what's the point? CVS has decided to deprive tens of thousands of women of the right to make personal health care decisions. A male-dominated board of directors has chosen profit over patients by denying women to access to birth control. What? What's the story here? Reminder, CVS apologized when a pharmacist refused to fill our client's hormone prescription, but has yet to address our call for policies and training to ensure it never happens again. I'm not sure what the story is. Every day, another attack on women's access to health care and reproductive freedom. This time, it's CVS. Hiking up the prices on home delivery of birth control to the tens of thousands of women nationwide who rely on services like Pill Club and Nurx. Please do better. What? What should I do? I'm not finding the story. Not finding the story on this. CVS is moving to cut home delivery of birth control pills to women who need it. Are they? Okay, still not a story to tell me exactly what they're doing here. Alarming. Okay, here it is. Here's the thread by Maureen Shaw. Alarming news on the birth control front. CVS Pharmacy Caremark has proposed payment changes that threaten pill clubs and other delivery methods ability to service members. Already in America, millions of women are struggling to access affordable birth control. What does this have to do with access? Thanks to the Trump administration, women face barriers to basic reproductive health. This tells me nothing. Is anybody going to tell me what this story is? I have all the activist parts of the story, but I haven't quite figured out what they're doing here. All they're saying is something about delivery services, but it doesn't say that what they're doing. Okay, let me get back into the hashtag here, because I'm not... So, CVS denies care. I'm not really sure what this means. Okay, here it is. CVS learned this morning that CVS's Caremark is cutting reimbursement rates for mail order birth control pills, making it more expensive and potentially out of reach for 10,000. I don't get it. Is it just specifically for birth control pills? I can't find a story on it. But everyone's blaming it. Everyone's saying that, let's see, mostly old white men on CVS Healthcare. Of course, it's because it's old white men. But it doesn't say the board that just gutted access to basically family planning medications to millions of women. Did they though? Is this just? I'm not finding a story that's telling me exactly what they did. A lot of people writing about it though. Not one story. Not all. The only thing here is this Caremark story. Now maybe this will tell me. No, this is Pill Club, which is a CVS. Don't take away access to birth control. Tens of thousands of women with CVS Caremark pharmacy coverage could lose much needed service through Pill Club. Doesn't say what they're doing. Why? I don't know why they do. I want to know exactly what they're doing. The proposed payment changes threaten Pill Club's ability to serve members. Okay, that doesn't tell me the story. You know what? This is one of those hashtags. Usually they have something in the beginning that tells you exactly what the question here is. Let's do this. We'll do a search. CVS. We'll just do straight CVS pharmacy. Okay, in the news. Okay, let's do this. CVS Pharmacy. CVS Pharmacy delivery. Okay, these are all just... It's not even the news. You know what? Maybe we'll just have to wait on this one tomorrow. I want to find out exactly what this is, because there's not one news story. Everything is people bitching about CVS. But it's only talking about their delivery service. So if it doesn't say anything about them going to CVS and getting things. So that's what I don't get. CVS is limiting access for disabled patients to birth control. Oh my God! You know what? Let's pull up the disability card. Okay, and again, thanks to CVS Pharmacy, women who use services like Pill Club, Nurx, and other providers could lose access to birth control altogether. How is that? How could that be? Women are being deprived of the fundamental right to make decisions that are best for their bodies. I want to know exactly what they did. See, because these people are on a hype. Are you a woman? Do you know a woman? Okay, CVS Pharmacy is taking away access to birth control for tens of thousands of women. Be an ally. Say something. Are they required to sell birth control? But I think they do. I don't think that... Nothing in these tweets say anything that they are are no longer selling birth control. Are they changing a way their delivery service is? Yeah, everyone's telling you their sob story, but I want to know exactly what they're doing. And no, there's not a single article on this. All right, we're going to find this out later. I'm just going to go on. I'll figure it out. Conor McGregor's trending. Why? Is he going to fight? You want a shot? Nah, I'm good. Conor McGregor. I used to enjoy Conor McGregor's antics. Not anymore. Oh, did he hit somebody in a bar? Oh, come on, dude. This guy's getting out of control. Okay, what's going on? There's 38 seconds left. What did he do? So the guy looks like he's just minding his own business. Oh! Oh, he did. He smacked the guy in the head. Oh, not good. So he's trending. Punches an old man at the bar. You know what? Conor McGregor just needs to stop doing that shit. Okay, Conor McGregor sucker punches old man after whiskey argument in Dublin pub. Caught on camera punching an elderly gentleman when the man apparently refuses a shot of whiskey offered to him. The video should be shown to kids in every health class to explain the pitfalls of steroids drinking and toxic masculinity. All right, there's an FTG. Well, FTG, Conor McGregor, and the woman who used the word toxic masculinity in the same sentence. FTG for Conor McGregor. Let's go on. Anything else on here? Thursday motivation. Happy birthday, Nipsey Hussle. BB, that's Netanyahu. DeMarcus Cousins. Where's DeMarcus? Is there something about DeMarcus Cousins here? ESPN story on Lakers center DeMarcus Cousins suffering possible knee injury and undergo the further testing in Los Angeles. Okay, if you're a Lakers fan, you're not happy about that. Joe Walsh is trending. Oh my God. Tea Party. Former GOP Congressman Joe Walsh says he wants to apologize for the role that I played in putting an unfit con man in the White House. Joe Walsh, you're a fuck off. FTG. Joe Walsh is the congressman. First of all, he's the one who shouted out something about you lie to Obama, which was, regardless if you think Obama was lying about whatever he was talking about, Joe Walsh broke decorum and shouldn't have yelled that out in the middle of a speech by the president. I don't care who the president is. You respect the president when they're in your hall of Congress. That was uncalled for. And even though I agreed with him that Obama was lying his ass off, but that is not something you should do. FTG to Joe Walsh. That's Conor McGregor. But anyway, you can FTG Joe Walsh too. But he had no, oh my God, his role, he was a never Trumper from the start. You had no role, Joe Walsh. You had no role. Shut the F up. Left-leaning ethics organization is taking Representative Joe Walsh to task for being a deadbeat dad. Yeah, he's Joe Walsh. I still follow him on Twitter just for the comedy of it. But don't worry, Joe Walsh. Everyone knows you're a never Trumper. You don't have to apologize for anything. But FTG to you, biatch. All right. Gibraltar's trending. Decides to release Iran oil tanker hours after U.S. applies to seize it. Okay, so I see. They had a. Okay. And Israel's trending. All right, that's it for today, guys. I got to call it a day. Hey, thanks for being here today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you got, something I figured out too, by the way. Let me finish with this. Something I figured out today when I was watching some people's videos from later in the day yesterday and some of the videos that people made this morning. I realized that a lot of the times, and maybe you'll notice this too as you watch other people's videos and streams for the day, I kind of get the scoop on some people sometimes. I just realized like half the videos that I watched later in the day yesterday or in the morning this morning, they're all topics that we cover here on the Morning Night Live. So hopefully you realize that sometimes you come here, you hear some things first, and I hope you appreciate that. It's kind of a fun thing for me, and also just another thank you for all of you who like to come here and hang out with me every morning and get your taste of the news. Hopefully it's entertaining. Hopefully you have some fun. We're here every day, every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for those in other parts of the world. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the stream. That's my biggest thing right now. Share the stream. I'm trying to grow this, and hopefully we'll have more people in the chat, and we'll have more fun, more people to talk to, more interesting takes on things. And I don't care what particular political persuasion you are. We are a fully intersectional chat room. Anyway, that's got to be it for today, everybody. I got to go. Thank you for being here. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Goodbye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.